Most people who want to move into GRC have no idea which part of GRC they should actually be in. And that is not a small problem because governance, risk, and compliance are genuinely different jobs, different skill sets, different day-to-day work, different salary trajectories, different personalities that thrive in each. Today, I'm going to break down all three, what they actually mean in practice, not just on paper, and show you how to figure out which one is the right fit for how your brain already works. Quick setup before we get into the lanes. GRC stands for Governance, Risk, and Compliance. You have probably seen it grouped together like they are one thing, and most job postings treat them that way, which is part of why people get confused. But inside a mature security organization, these are distinct functions with distinct career paths. And the professionals who advance fastest are the ones who choose a lane early, got good at it, and built their positioning around it. I'm going to walk through each lane, what the work actually looks like, what skills it demands, what salary ranges it reaches, and which backgrounds tend to thrive in each. At the end, I'll tell you the fastest way to figure out which lane fits you. Lane 1 is governance. Governance is about structure. It is the lane that answers, how does this organization make decisions about security? Who is accountable? What policies say we have to do X? And do we know we're doing it? Day-to-day work in governance looks like policy writing and maintenance, developing security frameworks and standards, documenting controls, working with auditors, aligning security programs to regulatory requirements and business objectives. If you have ever written a security policy from scratch, helped with audit preparation, or built a controls matrix, you have done governance work, even if it wasn't called that. Now, who thrives in governance? People who like structure, process, and documentation. People who are good at translating abstract requirements into practical procedures. People with legal, compliance, audit, or military backgrounds often find governance very natural. The salary for governance roles typically start in the $65K to $90K range at the analyst level and reach $120 to $160K at the manager and director level. Senior governance leads and VPs of GRC at large organizations can go significantly higher. Key certifications include CISA. CISA is the most respected in governance. GRC is relevant at the senior level. For regulatory heavy requirements, certifications specific to the regulation like HIPAA, PCI, SOC 2 are very valuable. Your first move, if governance is your lane, is getting visibility on policy and audit work in your current role. Even if that is not officially your job, volunteer to review a policy, help prep for an audit, or document a process that doesn't have documentation. That work becomes your sample and your story. Lane 2 is risk. Risk is the analytical heart of GRC. It is the lane that answers, what are we most exposed to? How likely is it that something bad happens? And what does it cost us if it does happen? Day-to-day work in risk looks like conducting risk assessments, building and maintaining risk registers, scoring and prioritizing findings, advising on risk treatment decisions, producing risk reports for leadership and board level audiences. If you have ever done a vulnerability assessment and thought about what it actually meant for the business, not just what the technical severity was, you have done risk thinking, even if it wasn't formalized. Who thrives in risk? People who like analysis, probability thinking, and communication. Risk professionals spend a lot of time translating complex technical or operational situations into business language recommendations. Finance backgrounds are extremely natural here. Risk quantification, expected value, impact modeling are shared concepts. People who think in frameworks and love the "so what" question do very well in risk. The salary for a risk analyst role start in the $70K to $95K range and reach $130 to $180 plus at the senior and director level. Chief risk officers and VP level roles at large organizations command significantly more. Key certifications include CRISC, the Certified in Risk and Information Systems Control, and that is the gold standard for this lane. Fair or factor analysis of information risk. Training is increasingly valuable. CISA is still respected. For people coming from finance, the CFA or FRM backgrounds translate surprisingly well. Your first move. Risk lane entry is often through vulnerability management or incident response, roles where you are already assessing severity and impact. The move to formal risk work is about upgrading how you document and communicate those assessments. Lane 3 is compliance. Compliance is the regulatory lane. It is the lane that answers, what are we required to do? Are we doing it? And can we prove it? Day-to-day work in compliance looks like managing compliance programs like a SOC 2 or ISO 27001 or even HIPAA, preparing for and supporting external audits, maintaining evidence libraries, tracking regulatory changes, and coordinating between technical teams and auditors. If you have ever helped gather audit evidence, track remediation items from an audit finding, or worked with a third-party assessor, you have done compliance work. Who thrives in compliance? People who like process, detail, and organization. People who are comfortable working with external parties like auditors, regulators, third-party vendors. Legal backgrounds are very strong here. Healthcare and financial services backgrounds, where regulatory compliance is constant, translate directly. Project management skills are extremely valuable in compliance because a lot of the work is coordinating across teams to hit deadlines. Salary. Compliance analyst roles start in the $60K to $85K range and reach $110 to $150K at the senior and manager level. Compliance programs in financial services and healthcare often pay at the high end of these ranges because the regulatory stakes are highest. Key certifications include CISA, CRISC, and framework-specific certifications like ISO 27001, Lead Implementer, or PCI QSA. For healthcare, HCI-SPP is specifically designed for this intersection. Your first move. Compliance is often the most accessible GRC lane for career changers because many organizations need people who can manage audit processes, gather evidence, and track remediation. And that work does not require deep technical skills. If you are transitioning from a non-cyber background, compliance is often the best first door into GRC. So, how do you actually pick a lane? I want to give you the fastest way I have found to figure this out, and it is a single question. When you imagine doing really good work, the kind of work that gives you or leaves you feeling capable and energized, which of these describes it? Is it A, building and maintaining a system that governs how decisions get made? Well, that's governance. Or is it B, analyzing a complex situation and translating it into a clear recommendation that changes what the organization does? That's risk. Or C, making sure the organization is meeting its obligations, such as regulatory, contractual, operational, and being the person who keeps everyone accountable. That's compliance. One of those probably resonated immediately. That is where you'll start. The free resume rewrite should help you change the terminology you use in your resume to better align with a GRC role. It comes with a bonus, the 3-lane test that I put together, which has all 3 lanes laid out with roles at each level, salary ranges, certifications, and the first move in each lane. It's a single-page reference that I wish I had when I started. Link is in the description, and it's free. If you found this video helpful, share it with someone in your network who is trying to figure out their path. This is exactly the content they need, and it doesn't get recommended by the algorithm to the people who need it the most. I'll see you all in week 3.